Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I do hope you're having a wonderful day. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So, thank you very much for your support. Now, I wanted to give a quick update also both on the stock market and on the crypto market. So, Bitcoin has gone below 25K, depending on the exchange you're looking at. You may recall a few videos or a few weeks ago. 22 to 24K is a potential handle to see. So between that range should hold some support, but there's still the possibility of an 18 to 20K, and I guess that would qualify as a double bottom, which tends to happen about 50% of the times in crypto cycles. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying that that's a possibility. As I said, that 24K would be a possibility back at 30K. And here we are. So far, SEPTEMBEAR seems to be happening. So September, it's traditionally a terrible month for crypto. I think it's probably the worst month for crypto. If not, it's like top 2. However, I did say that, since everybody is aware of that fact, maybe this time around it won't play out. We are in the 11th on September 11th. By the way, shout out to all the victims and families of people from 9/11. It's always an important date and should always be remembered. And the point is, so far, that has been the case. That doesn't mean that we can't have a second good half of September. To be honest, I'm kind of bored of all this sideways movement. If we still need to make a big dump before we can move higher, in my opinion, I would much rather have it all at once, big event, something collapses dramatically, the world is finished, crypto is finished, blah, blah, blah. Then you have Jim Cramer announcing the death of crypto and Bitcoin. So that kind of bottom signal would be something I would really appreciate. However, we need to dwell in the market that we are. I've told you this constantly. It doesn't matter if my crypto investments go up 10x or 20x. I am looking, or if they go down 50 or 60%, 2025 is the key date for me. That's it. That's all I care about. All the rest is just going through the motions and seeing what's happening out there. Now, in the case of the stock market, most indices are up. I'm talking about the US one. Nasdaq 100 is now about 1,200 points from all-time highs. The S&P is about 300 something points from the all-time highs, and Dow Jones is about 2,000 points from all-time highs. And Russell is way further behind, and that was one of the main reasons I did say that by Q1 2024, Nasdaq 100, S&P, and Dow Jones would see new all-time highs. I was about 50-50 around the Russell, just because of the regional banks, and there's still a lot of fear around those. In my opinion, it's a fear that no longer makes much sense, but reality is, it doesn't matter what I think, it matters what the market thinks. So that was actually what I was looking at. And everyone is puzzled, including our dear friend Harry Dent, who's been advising, guess what, it's a good time to get out of stocks, short stocks, go buy TLT. So the only thing that has been down has been the only investment that he recommended, as you would expect. My point is, we are approaching a period where, and the reason why I do think we're going to see new all-time highs in Q1 2024 is because I think very rarely in history you saw an election year with a down market. It's extremely rare. So basically, and there's not anything really major happening to justify some of that. I think some powers that be were testing a bit the return of a certain cover to your face because of some coughing that's been around. But I think that the response from the audience has been so negative and so brutal that I seriously doubt that that's going to go through. But it's true, you never know. You never know. But I do think it's very unlikely. Now, there's been inflation fears, particularly with the oil prices raging higher, which are perfectly possible. Once again, the doomsday people, the people predicting the end of the world, they fail to notice that inflation doesn't go down every single month in any time period, the same way that inflation going up doesn't go up every single month in any period. Just like any market doesn't go straight up or straight down, but this is the part they don't get. Now, the people say, why are you so bullish? Why are you so bullish? I mean, I'm not that bullish. No, I'm predicting new all-time highs, but I already told you that last decade, the US stock market completely outperformed everything. If you go back in history and you have a look at it, it's very rare that you have 2 decades in a row of the US outperforming the world or international outperforming the US. So although I think we're going to see new all-time highs, that doesn't mean that by the end of the decade, 2030, I think that we're going to be, high and flying. Okay, because this is something that people fail to understand. But the reason why I don't talk too much about it is because I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but every time people try to predict things that 8 or 5 or 6 or 7 years ahead of its time, they fall flat in their faces, just like our buddy Harry Dent or our buddy Peter Schiff, who's been predicting the end of the dollar and hyperinflation in the US since the 90s. And even if he would be right, he's been wrong for 25 years, which means that people around the age of 55 that listen to him, a good percentage of them are no longer in the planet, and they prepared for something that never occurred. So when he says, oh, I'm not wrong, I'm just early. Yeah, I mean, I can also say something like, oh yeah, by the way, our planet will be destroyed. You say, really? Yeah. It's going to be destroyed when the sun explodes, and the sun is going to explode next month. And then I say this over and over again until eventually the sun explodes. They say, you see, I wasn't wrong, I was just early. Yeah, man, but what is the value of that, right? I mean, I know that I'm exaggerating and pushing the envelope quite a bit, but this is just a warning for you guys to be really careful around these financial experts, particularly because they tell you everything that you want to hear, as this is one of the worst and most hated rallies in the stock market in history that we've ever seen. So be careful around that, and be prepared to understand how these people also make their money. They don't make their money by investing in the market. They make their money by convincing you to buy what they sell about the market, which is very different. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.